Welcome to the Popcorn Wine Dowm with Tammy and Eddie. Grab your popcorn, get yourself a glass of wine, and come hang out with us as we discuss TV shows, movies, music, and pop culture.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Popcorn Wine Dowm. I'm Eddie.
And I'm Tammy.
Thank you for joining us this week where we will be discussing the witches. But first, let's get to the wine down. Tammy. I got some sad news this week.
What?
The Fast and the Furious series is coming to an end after 2 more movies.
Wait. The sadness is that they got 2 more movies and then they're ending. What is that, 4 more years to go?
I don't know, but it's so sad.
So sad. I'm heartbroken.
I am too. So I'm going to have to enjoy the 9th one when it finally comes out after Say It With Me fucking Rona. After it comes out next year. So hopefully there'll be some things that I want to see them tie up, and one of those things is what they're going to do with the character of Brian. I know that's still sad. After watching the series this summer, not this week, I rewatched the whole series up until the 8th movie this summer, and even though 8 was good, you still miss Paul Walker, and so I wonder if they'll really fully address that, especially since they're bringing Mia back in the 9th one. That's just one of those big question marks I have.
He can stay home with the kids. She always the one that gotta go and stay safe and everything like that. Let that be Brian now. Let him stay home with kids.
Well, why you say that? Okay, going off on a whole nother thing, but why you say that? There has been some talk, because we know they have the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff, but there had been a talk of a female-led spinoff featuring Michelle Rodriguez. So I would love to see a female-led spinoff. TV, movie, something. I would like it. So yeah. And then other big news this week, the Beastie Boys, one of my favorite all-time groups. They did something that they rarely do, and they licensed one of their songs, and they licensed it for a political ad, Sabotage. They allowed to be used in a political ad for Joe Biden. So that was pretty cool. And a lot of people are doing that now, not licensing songs, but a lot of casts are having cast reunions in favor of political candidates and getting out the vote in this election cycle. So we'll see if it's paid off. And hopefully we have 10 more days to the election. So
I voted today.
Vote. Yay, I'm voting tomorrow. Vote. So just vote. And Quibi. Did you ever subscribe to Quibi?
No, I got Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. I got Viki. Okay, I just rolled out with HBO Max. Like, nah, I'm good.
Well, Quibi, which was like a 10-minute service.
YouTube.
I can't even say exactly. But the whole thing behind Quibi was it was like shorts, and it was 10-minute episodes. And when I went to try to subscribe to it, I think I did the trial, but at first there was nothing that really caught my eye. And for 10 minutes, I'm like, I can go watch a YouTube video for free. But so I get what they were trying to do. It was really ambitious, but they are going out of business. The stream, they've come to the end of the stream. Or the stream has run out. I like that one. The stream has run out. After 6 months, they're done, and it was jet free.
Wait! Hold up, my bad. Hold up. They just premiered 6 months ago.
Yes, and they had like a lot of big name people, like Kevin Hart. His show was really taking off on Quibi. It was supposed to be really funny. Liam Hemsworth had a show on Quibi. Kiefer Sutherland had a show on Quibi. They had a lot of big name stars buy into these 10-minute episodes, and 6 months they're done. And so I don't know if they just didn't want to try to retool and become a full-on streamer with full-on shows or regular show times. I'm not sure, but yeah. But I was like, okay, YouTube for free.
YouTube.
If you're doing the 10-minute thing, but yeah, they're shutting down after 10 months, and they raised $2 billion with a B dollars. And after they pay off all their debts and everything, they should have about 350 million left. I don't know. So, but I give them credit for trying. At least they tried something new. You never know until you try. And Quibi might be one of those things that's ahead of its time, and maybe in a few years later you'll see someone come along and perfect the idea. I don't know, but
I yeah, be ahead of your time when YouTube been around for years.
But YouTube doesn't give you serialized actual content.
They
and
do.
Even
YouTube got their series. You just got to pay a little extra for it. And I refuse to pay extra for YouTube when I can just go on YouTube and watch my 10-minute videos.
YouTube shut down their original content. Cobra Kai was originally on YouTube, and Netflix picked it up. YouTube did have some good shows.
What happened to the dancing show?
I forgot the one that Naya Rivera was on, the Step Up spinoff. I forgot what network picked that one up, but it did get picked up by a different network.
Oh, I did not even know that, because I watch YouTube for free.
I get it. I understand. And we're not going to talk about what you watch on YouTube for free. And I realized that just sounded very pornographic. And I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to throw you down
real quick.
I'm not trying to send you down that road. Okay, moving on. I'm so sorry.
I feel like that was a throw me under the bus moment.
That not only threw you under the bus, it threw you like underground. Like, it sounded like you were watching underground porn or something, and it's not. It's BTS videos. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. It's nothing illicit that's going to get us shut down or raided by the government.
Put a disclaimer out right now that what I watch on YouTube is like Korean drama clips and BTS and GOT7 like music videos. That is what I watch. Don't be reading into whatever Eddie said over there, okay?
Thank you. Please don't. FBI, don't come raid us. Y'all got bigger problems.
Oh God. Moving on.
Yes, moving on. Finally, heading on down the road to casting and production updates. So tell me if this sounds exciting to you. Jamie Foxx, Vampire Hunter.
No.
You're gonna watch it?
No. I mean, okay, let me not lie. I mean, it is Jamie Foxx, so I mean, I'm gonna give it some eyeballs. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it, but yeah, I'm gonna go begrudgingly and watch it because I'm not gonna really want to do it.
Well, see, he plays a pool cleaner by day and Vampire Hunter by night.
No.
And when I first read it, I was like, oh, I get it now, because a pool cleaner is the only job you can really do during the daytime. So, and then at night he has the night spree to hunt vampires. Still not interested?
No. No. It sounds stupid.
I'm going to give it a try because it's Jamie.
Of course, it's Jamie Foxx. We're all going to give it a try. Now, are we going to like it as we're sitting there watching it? Probably not. But we're all going to watch it, though.
Okay. Rosario Dawson has been cast as one of the leads in the series Dope Sick, which is going to be about how the DEA tackled the opioid epidemic. It sounds really interesting. And the casting sounds... Oh, I can't remember. I was going to say the casting sounds really great too, but I'm having a brain freeze on who else has been cast in it so far. But I love Rosario Dawson, so she's a badass. I'm going to actually give that one a try. And Scott Speedman is going to be cast on a show that you don't watch, You, which is amazing. I love You. You should watch You. We could do a review of You if you watch it.
Exactly. That's my answer. Did you hear the silence?
I know, and I was like, I'm being met by silence, so that means that she's giving me one of her patented looks. Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brad Pitt, they are boarding the bullet train. This sounds really interesting. It was adapted from a Japanese novel about assassins and hitmen on a train to Tokyo.
Okay. Well, I mean, you had me at Brad Pitt.
Yeah. and
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
You had me at both of them, so I'm good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. And in production delay news, Ghostbusters Afterlife, which they're calling Ghostbusters, which technically wouldn't it be Ghostbusters 4 since there was the female Ghostbusters? But anyway,
they did not count that. That was a remake. That was not a part of the original.
Okay, well, Ghostbusters Afterlife and has been pushed back to 2021, as well as the Candyman remake. And have you seen the original Candyman?
Of course, I saw both, and I was scared for my life both times.
See, I haven't seen 2, but I've seen 1, and one scared the bejesus out of me. Two
ain't that great. Two ain't that great, but it still scared me. Like, I feared for my life. Like, I'm having you know what? I'm having flashbacks right now of when I was young, because I watched it when I was a kid, and I'm having flashbacks of watching Candyman 1 and 2, and yeah, that dude was scary as fuck.
He was. And the projects where it was shot and the projects where it's based, Caprini Green, they were real in Chicago. They got turned down a few years ago, but so whenever we would fly into Chicago and going through the south side of Chicago, you had to drive past them. That would creep me out, you know. But the remake is coming out in 2021, and it has gotten rave reviews. So I'm kind of glad that they didn't push it to a streaming network, and that's going to be one of the things we get to see in the theater. Hopefully, when Rona decides to take her ass on somewhere, but you know. And also in casting news, the series Pachinko has been cast and is headed to AB's Apple TV Plus, and that seems so interesting. It was like a mafia drama over generations, and it's Japanese, Korean, and American, and I am looking forward to that. Hopefully, I guess maybe. Did they say when they were going to start filming it, or when it was actually going to go into production?
No, they did not. I think Lee Min-ho is actually filming another series right now. So probably once he finishes the current series that he's taping, they'll start taping on Pachinko.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for that. And I can already say that that's probably going to go on the list.
Heck yeah.
So I don't have to worry about that one.
No.
And Ava DuVernay is producing a Native American series called Sovereign. With bird running water. So I am really excited about all the diversity that we're seeing and different stories being told, not just by African Americans, but about all minority and underrepresented groups. So I'm excited about that. I'll be checking most of them out. And so that leads us to this week's. We still need a jingle or a sound for the K-pop,
yes.
Like a little song. I'm gonna find one
to introduce this part.
To introduce us to our K-pops. Pop, 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 pop. So, this week's big story in the K-pops, and you can't even relegate it to just K-pop world. Jason Derulo was introduced to the BTS army. And he wasn't introduced to the polite, we're just crazy mad stans of BTS. Nah, he was introduced to the underground army, the ones that come for you anytime they feel like you disrespected BTS. And sometimes I can say, okay, army takes it a bit too far, but this time I'm gonna have to side with
He
army.
deserved it, every single thing.
Yeah, so as we know, Savage Love, the Savage Love remix with Josh 685, Jason Derulo, and BTS went to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. So that was BTS's second number one ever.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason Derulo went out to dinner to celebrate this honor,
He did.
which, he's part of it, so that's fine.
Yep.
But while he was at dinner, he thanked everyone but the people responsible for the song, Jawash, 685, and BTS, which was hella shady. And you can take it away from here, Stanley. I'm gonna let you have it.
We said that, right? Yeah. So I'll be honest and say, and we talked about this on Jason Derulo is a nobody to me. And he got as far as number 8 when he premiered Savage Love. And to give you a little background on the song Savage Love, which everybody loves, he actually tried to steal the beat from Josh. Like he tried to steal the beat, and instead of him being sued or told to take down the song, Josh said, well, let's just make money together, and we'll actually put the words that you have with my beat, and we'll just put the song together, and you just make sure that you give me credit. So he did that. He premiered the song, and it got to number 8. It did good. It did really, really good. And then he went on Ellen, and he was talking about the remakes that he was doing. And he basically said that he didn't know who BTS was. And he didn't realize how popular they were until, I believe it was 2008 or 2009, when they won the Social Artist Award for the 3rd year in a row. And so he was like, oh, like they have a huge fan base. So when he realized that they had a huge fan base, I guess that's when he finally took notice of who BTS is, and he used them for clout. He used them to get him to number 1, and then didn't give him credit for it. All right? So, yeah, you learned your lesson. He definitely, because he ended up having to retweet the video that he took, and he ended up having to thank Jawash, and he also thanked BTS. And you
because Army.
They canceled him.
Because Army,
they
canceled him on I was checking something on Twitter, and I'm like, why is Jason Derulo trending? And it said cancel. And Army can get something trending like that. Yeah. Like,
I mean, come on. Millions of fans all over the world, the biggest fan base in the world. Don't come for them.
Yeah. And BTS they never have to say anything.
Nothing.
Army handles it. Army handles it for them. And like I said, sometimes I'll be like, okay, Army, you're being ridiculous. But this time, it was just hella disrespectful. Like hella disrespectful. And Jason Derulo hasn't had a hit since when?
2009.
2009. And the only reason he's even been relevant or this year is because he was doing a lot of stuff on TikTok, and that's how he found the beat as well, being on TikTok so much. And I'm not gonna lie, Savage Love was a banger before. I did like it. I was like, okay, he's found another hit. I'm not gonna hate on the brother for making money, doing what he does, making music or whatever. It's great. But when he put BTS on it, it took it to a whole nother level. And it was this whole thing. I read this article about how BTS used to be in a position where they would want to try to find Western artists to collab with them so they could get airplay. And, but now it's like everybody's trying to get a collab with BTS so they can get the airplay and the clout and get the Army to listen to them, because they know whatever has BTS's name on it is going to sell out, is going to play, is going to trend.
That's true.
It's going to be there because Army's just that, they go hard.
They're that strong. Like they're that dedicated, and they're that loyal to BTS. And
they want to make sure whatever BTS touches turns to gold.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just really hella disrespectful, It
was hella disrespectful on how he was talking about them when he was on Ellen. Did you see the video?
I did. I don't want to watch.
How, when he didn't even mention their name. Like, he mentioned their fandom, Army, but he didn't even mention their name. He was like, so I didn't even realize like how huge they were. And, I was like, I have to work with them because, they're the biggest K-pop group in the world, biggest boy band group. And I'm like, say their name. Like, BTS, like, say their name. He wouldn't even say their name as he was giving himself, I guess, a pat on the back for finally recognizing them. Like, dude, you are nobody. Like, BTS is way bigger than you. Like, come on now.
It's like if Queen Bee herself had deigned to agree to perform with you on a song, and you don't mention Beyonce's name.
And you know that would be disrespectful.
Oh, the Beehive
would have been. His career, like, he would never sing again a day in his life.
The Beehive, yeah. Those are two fandoms I would not ever want to.
I don't mess with them.
I would never send. I don't want to send for them, and I sure as hell don't want them coming for me. Beehive and Army, no. But yeah, so it was just really disrespectful, and
I hope he learned.
He got what he
deserved, I hope he learned his lesson. And
he got served a piece of humble pie. Let's hope he remembers how it.
Now, the only sad thing is, I feel like now there's definitely like no chance of me actually seeing this song live. Like, I've talked about it with you on how, like, I love the song, but I didn't listen to it before BTS got on it. Yes, I was one of those people. And then I listened to it with BTS, and then I started promoting it to everybody. I was playing it for everybody I knew. Like, yo, you heard this new Savage Love song? They're like, it's not new. That don't matter. BTS is on it now. Yeah. It's new to me. But I've been hoping that I can see a performance. Now, okay, say it with me, fucking Corona, because I feel like if it wasn't for the coronavirus, I probably could have seen a performance before he jacked it up. Now it's
at Billboard,
yeah, or something like they could have done a surprise performance at the Billboard Awards, and now I'm never gonna see it live, and I'm so sad because it's so good, so good.
You know what? You might like when. I'm not gonna say when. I'm not gonna say if. I'm gonna say when we get to a live BTS show, it might be something that they do as a cute interlude or something like that. I don't want to give him a dime.
Don't give him a dime of their money.
It's too late. It's the genie's out of the bottle. You know, the song is great, and I thought about it, but I'm not going to stop listening to the song just because Jason Derulo.
Oh yeah, but he doesn't get money for them doing it at a concert. No, don't give him no money. He gets money for streaming because they also do. But don't give him nothing for your concert.
Exactly. So if you do it from the concert, would he get money from it?
He would. But that's in addition to the streaming money. Just let him live off of the streaming money for right now.
Well, you know, we'll see. But anyway, what else do we have going on in the K-pop?
Okay, so and it's hilarious that I literally just started listening to them. They've been around for years. I think they're third generation K-pop group, Red Velvet, who is still one of the top female K-pop groups in the industry. One of their members, Irene, she went celebrity crazy. She went celebrity crazy, and so she got a major attitude. She was treating some of the employees wrong, and now she's paying the consequences of it. She's losing Instagram followers. They've been kicked off of certain performances. She's getting her ads taken down. Some people are asking for her to be removed from the group, which is not going to happen because she's one of the stars of the group. But yeah, so check your attitude. You know, you got to have a, like, you know, prissy, cutesy personality publicly. And now, you know, it's coming out that you're not so great. You're not a great person. Other than that, you know, GOT7, which still waiting for that date. Young Jay from GOT7 was accused of bullying when he was in high school, but it has come out as being false, that the guy lied and tried to use it because he's handicapped and he's in a wheelchair, so he thought that he would actually get away with lying about Young Jay. And I'm just like, no, it's not happening. So it has come out that he lied, and he actually admitted that he lied to the company when JYP actually interviewed him to ask him about it. And he admitted that he did lie on Young Jay. So please, don't be coming for my peoples, okay? Like, stop it. Like, what you trying to get? You trying to get a couple dollars? Like, go get a job. All right? But that was it, like, for K-pop of significance for K-pop.
Of significance for K-pop, yeah. Well, in Hyphen, I saw that I see that they're getting ready for their debut. So I'm interested to see if they have another song besides the Island.
They
song,
do.
I wasn't really.
They do. That's what their teaser. They're putting out teasers for the new song that they're supposed to be coming out with next month. I think it's supposed to be early next month is when they're going to officially debut. So we'll see what the song sounds like, because I don't know. I've been a little disappointed in these debuts that have been happening lately.
And we talked about last week, Crush's CD is phenomenal.
Amazing.
So keep an eye out or look out for more about Crush on the popcornwinedowm.com. Plug. And that does it for this week's episode of The Wine Down. Stay tuned and we will discuss The Witches. Welcome back. This week we will be discussing The Witches, which is the latest adaptation of Roald Dahl's book of the same name. It's a dark fantasy comedy starring Anne Hathaway, Octavia Spencer, Stanley Tucci, and Chris Rock as the rat. It takes place... Why are you laughing? He did star as the rat.
I know, but I'm just thinking of like his voice when I first heard it when it came up. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It takes place in 1967 when Charlie, played by Jazir Kadim, is suddenly orphaned and has to go live with his grandmother, Octavia Spencer, in rural Alabama. And after an encounter with a witch in the grocery store, Charlie's grandmother whisked them away to a fancy seaside resort where, unfortunately, they happen to end up in the heart of the lion's den. Tammy, The Witches, what did you think?
It was cute.
That's
exactly.
It was
exactly.
Exactly.
Okay. So what I will say is that I'm the one that suggested this, and that's because when I was young, I watched the original movie with Angelica Houston, and I loved it, but it also scared me as a young kid. And I would watch it over and over again and be scared every single time at the fact that thinking that there was going to be a witch that was going to come out and turn me into a mouse because I was a bad kid. Now, granted, I was, of course, an absolute angel, but I'm just saying, just in case.
Of course
just
you
in
were.
case. So when I heard about the remake, I was just like, oh no, I want to watch this, right? Because I actually like the original. And then when I started to think when I was watching it was, yeah, I like this because I was a kid. Like it's a cute kid movie. Like it's really, really cute. Like, don't get me wrong, it is. It's a good movie, but yeah, not for an adult. It's not for an adult. It's a kid movie that just happens to have real people in it. It's not a cartoon featured. But yeah. What about you, Eddie?
Well, I'm not really big on kids' movies to begin with, so it was Tammy's choice, and I allowed the choice. Not that I allowed it, but I went with the choice. I was like, okay, but I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would. And I'm not going to take the fact that I went to sleep as soon as it came on the first time. I don't hold that against the movie. I was just really exhausted. So once I gave it a second watch, I watched it all the way through, and I enjoyed it. It was better than I thought it would be. Now, I'm not saying it's in a bad way, but I understand why I think it would do better streaming. I don't think if it would have had a theatrical release, it would have done as well. So the decision to send it to streaming was a good one, especially ready for the Halloween season. I like the fact that Guillermo del Toro and Kenya Barris, they co-wrote it along with Bob Zemeckis, who directed the movie. So that was a good thing. And I love, visually, it was stunning. Like, the aesthetics of the movie were amazing. I love the special effects. Anne Hathaway was great as an over-the-top.
She was. I really liked her in her role.
I liked Octavia Spencer as the grandma. She was good. Chris Rock as the rat, voicing the rat, it's a role that suited him. And I don't mean that to sound as shady as I realize it sounded coming out of my mouth. But
no, he did
be a
great
lot
as the voiceover for the mouse. Like he definitely did.
Yeah. And I love Stanley Tucci, so he was good. And one part that I really liked, because it takes place in 1967, and they recast, because I believe in the original Charlie and his grandmother were white. Am I correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So one of the things I did catch is when they first showed up at the hotel, and he talked down to Charlie like, "Oh, you should feel so privileged, a little boy such as yourself staying at a place like this." And the way Octavia's character looked at him like, "Bitch, if you
look away from my grandchild."
Yeah, she was like, what did just and you kind of got the time and the place of what he was saying. You caught the not so subtle way in which he was saying that, but the look she gave. But Grandma took no mess, when he came to her, and she was, Bruno's parents had reported her saying she was carrying around rats in her purse. And she was like, I loved how she turned that around.
Oh my God, and got away with it. And he was just like, no, not at all.
Yeah. She's like, are you trying to say because you've been laying rat traps all around your hotel that I have rats in my purse? Like, I'm the cause of this? Like, what are you saying? And she ends up with the best table in the restaurant. But then she goes, I actually want the table by the kitchen. I think that would be the best table. And no one, especially black people, never want to sit by
No. They actually put her there. Like, even though it was supposed to be the best table, that's why she was making those comments, because the best table was actually near the kitchen that they gave her. So she was like, yes, I definitely wanted to sit here. Like, this is the exact seat that I wanted. And I was just like, yeah, sure it was.
But she ended up having a good view of the prey. And, so it was cute. There are some things I really liked about it. The cast, it wasn't memorable. So it goes under that I've seen it, I don't have to watch it again list.
Yeah. I will say, like, for your favorite scene, my favorite scene was right before that, right? So I love the undertone of them changing the main characters to black, because when she arrived at the hotel and she's getting ready to give the guy like a little bit of a tip, and he says, no, you keep your money. Enjoy your stay. Yeah. Because he was like amazed. He was like, when she got out of the taxi, he was like, can I help you?
Like,
are you lost? Like, that's how he was asking her. And I love like her reaction. She was like, you can help me with these bags. And he's like, oh yes. Because he was like, oh shoot, she really staying here. Okay. And it was kind of like them all seeing her and being like, oh, everybody must help her because we've never seen this before.
Yeah, like you could tell it's not too many of us that stayed at those types of places back then, and it really wasn't. So I like how they subtly addressed those things in the movie, and it was great. And then to reverse that at the end, where she had the trunk and she got all that money, and she just made sure to give them all
of them got money.
Yeah, and not just like a little change. She gave them like $100 each, so that was
a lot of money back then.
Yeah, it's a lot of money now. You're gonna come give me 100. Someone try to stick a Ben Franklin in my hand. I'm not gonna turn it down.
I'm definitely not gonna turn it down. But I'm saying, like, if you're gonna stick some money in my hand, it should at least be a G. Like, come on now.
For parking a car at a hotel, you want to take $1,000.
No, do you know that there is a woman who got $1,000 tip all because she was whining about the fact that it was so hard for her to afford her tuition for college? And I was just like, why? Why couldn't that have been me? Whenever I complain and I whine about my student loans, nobody gives me $1,000. So yeah.
Well,
I'd have preferred.
Oh well, we complaining to the wrong people, obviously.
Obviously, I need to go where the people with the money be.
Well, and of course, I love music. So one of the things I did notice and I did check out, the first things to catch my eye or ear about this was the soundtrack. I loved it. Like the amazing Motown sound, the 60s music that they had, Marvin Gaye, Aretha Franklin. I really loved that, the Four Tops. So that was
when she was trying to get him like to, when she was trying to get him to smile and to actually like, you know, feel better. And she put on, and I said, oh, you know, that is the song to play. Like I was moving side to side, like, okay, all right. And then he ain't do nothing. He just looked at her like, you weird. And I said, do you not know the music that she is playing for you? He ain't got no taste.
I'm sure he did, but you know, give him a break. He just lost both of his parents in a car accident. He was entitled to be a little sad about it. But now, Grandma, what was her deal? Like, was when she started coughing, was that like her witch detector?
I think so, because she didn't start coughing until the witch showed up to the grandson, and then she started having a coughing fit. Right? And then she was good at first when they got to the hotel, and then all of a sudden she started coughing again. Once the witch showed up. So she didn't realize,
well, once they got to the hotel, she started coughing. She didn't realize she took them to the wrong place. Like, you know, Grandma's witch detector was wonky.
She ain't even know that was her witch detector. And I think she made a comment about finally realizing like what it was. But at first, I think she just thought that she was actually sick. Because you remember when they were in the store and she was coughing into her handkerchief. And then she looked down at it. They didn't show it. But I was just like, she must have seen blood. And that's why she was just like, oh, yeah, let's go. And I was just like, oh, so Grandma really sick. And then she got healthy again. And then she got sick again. I was just like, oh, no, the witches are just all around her. That's the whole problem. Grandma not really sick.
So I wonder how she developed it though. Like, was it when she was a kid and her best friend was turned into a chicken, laying them golden eggs? That she
remember, like, it was kind of like him saying that she was kind of like a shaman, right, or a healer. So could it be like kind of that kind of power when she opened up that door to that room and he saw everything? And I was just like, oh, maybe that's what it was. Because she was a healer, she was kind of like a shaman. What some people would call a shaman, and maybe that's where it came from. Because to be honest, I don't even know. But all of a sudden, and it looked like she knew a lot. So I'm saying, like, has this happened to you before? Like, have you been like kind of keeping your eye out for them? Like,
it seems like she had since her best friend when she was a little girl had been turned into a chicken and. But I was like, okay, maybe the witch detector came because she was the one that got away, and it was just maybe her signal of when they were around. But I don't know why she wouldn't notice it before then, or I don't know. That was just one of those things that I was like, oh, okay, it could have a little bit better of an explanation, but it was still cool, I guess.
It was. And then another thing that I love, which goes back to the undertones of like, civil unrest, I guess, is when he was just like, well, won't they find us at the hotel? And her response was, only rich white people go to that hotel, and the witches only go after the poor people that don't nobody care about. And I was just like, if that don't resonate in today's time, I don't know what does.
How the missing and the majority of the missing and exploited children are the minority children that no one goes looking for, that no one cares to find. I'm like, it's still relevant to today. On that one comment, is still extremely relevant today. There's just certain places that people of color just don't go. Like that's just not places that we frequent because we are not on the level to frequent those places. I'm not saying that nobody's ever done it, but it was just a very relevant comment to make for a movie, that was supposed to be representing the 1960s, and it's still relevant today. Yeah. Now my one, and I felt like when I was writing this down, I was like, okay, there's a movie last week or so, I believe I told you, this is not one of those thinking movies, so it's not a whole dissertation on breaking down whatever, but I was a little bit bothered by, huge spoiler alert, okay, we need a sound for that too. I'm just going to write down a list of all the things we need a sound for and try to find them.
This whole episode is spoiler alert.
But this is the huge spoiler alert. Why the hell did they leave them as rats?
Yo, okay. Have you ever seen you've never seen the original, right? Okay.
No.
So I actually called my mom and I was telling her, I was just like, yo, so our next episode is gonna be The Witches. I said, Mom, you remember when I was younger? And she was just like, yeah, you used to watch that movie we used to watch together all the time. And I'm like, yeah. And then she started to remind me of certain scenes that I forgot. And this is before I started watching the movie. And she was just like, yeah, you remember like at the end, the good witch came in and she changed the boys, because it was 2 boys in the movie. And she changed the boys back to, she changed the mouses back to boys. And I said, yes, I remember that. And so I'm thinking like in the end, that's what's going to happen. And then I'm waiting. And then the credits go and I said, that's not it, right? Like what's happening? And then he comes back and he starts talking. So I'm like, okay, they're going to show us like how he looks because he's old now and everything like that. And that was the same reaction that I had. Why the fuck are you still a mouse? like you went all over the world killing these witches, and you mean to tell me you ain't meet one that you could threaten to change you back? Really?
That's exactly what I wrote down. I was like, and why not have one of the witches turn you back before they met the same fate? I'm sure if given the possibility of the choice of ending up like you and spending the rest of my life as a rat and turning you back into human kids, oh, you about to be back into human kids.
Yeah.
Abracadabra.
And then after you turn back into a human kid, then you can turn me into a rat, because you know that's what's gonna happen anyway. But I mean, like, yeah, that was my thing as well. And then my other thing was, why is he the only old one that we saw? Where's Daisy?
Yeah,
like the fat one.
Bruno. His name was
my bad.
Bruno.
Where's Bruno?
You know what happened?
It's hilarious because in the original movie, same exact character. It's hilarious.
The kid, the Bruno mouse?
Yep. Daisy was new.
So, yeah. Daisy was new? Okay. Because I was wondering the same thing, like what happened to Grandma? No, not Grandma, but what happened to Daisy and Bruno? And he aged a lot more than Grandma.
First of all, okay, I know black don't crack. I got you on that. But you mean to tell me Grandma ain't got no gray hair or nothing like that, but you rolling out with a beard that's all white and gray?
Well, Grandma was buying that Clairol, girl.
Come on now. Even Grandma's face, like they didn't even make Grandma look old. Like Grandma looked younger than you. And you were
black. Well, Grandma was a healer, and my Grandma was a healer in Extreme. She was using that homemade Botox.
Because Grandma was like, I need Grandma's remedy.
Thank you. Grandma didn't age
not a
like,
day.
Oh, okay. Give me Grandma's remedy. Save a lot on skincare. Like,
and then can we talk about how you send kids out to kill these witches now?
Thank you. I'm like, what the? And I guess because the witches went after kids, so, you know, they think that they have the targets, not knowing that they're really going to be the prey. So it's kind of like ingenious.
But I'm just like, they were like, are you ready? Yeah. Do you have your potions? Yes. Go out and kill some witches. And I'm just like, no. Where's your adults at? Where's your parents?
Like, they probably don't even know how to read and write, but you train them how to be murderers. Yes.
That threw me off as well. I said, what the heck? I thought he was just telling a story. But he actually sending the kids out to kill the witches. I said, okay. That's how we doing it?
Well, I don't know about you, but I saw sequel written all over the...
Please don't say that. Why are you putting that into the air? Snatch it back. Snatch it back, Eddie. Snatch it back.
I mean,
oh my gosh. Now, a year from now, I'm be hearing about some stupid sequel that they're going to do. They're going to magically bring back Anne Hathaway. Come on now.
And I'm telling you already, no.
They don't need no sequel. They don't need no sequel.
If they do get a sequel, no. You can do it as a quick pop.
But first of all, I'm not watching that. I'm not watching that.
And I also thought that her cat, did her cat used to be human?
No, it was just a cat.
Oh, okay.
It had human features though. When you looked at his face.
Yeah, like I thought I thought her cat may have been a human, a kid that she turned into.
Maybe that'll be in the sequel that you just put into the air.
Well, since I don't plan on watching it, you're gonna have to let me know how it is.
Oh,
All right. So, besides the soundtrack and the behind the scenes with Guillermo del Toro and Kenya Barris and the casting, what did you overall think of the movie?
I said it in the beginning. It was cute.
Okay.
I love the casting. I'm a fan of Anne Hathaway. Oh, love Octavia Spencer. Stanley Tucci can't do wrong. He cannot do wrong. All right. Chris Rock's voice threw me off in the beginning because I actually didn't know that he was voicing the mouse. So when I heard his voice, I said, "Is that Chris Rock?" And I just started laughing. I was just like, "Oh shit!" I was just like, "Okay, he's voicing the character. This is gonna be fun." It's kind of like when he did his show, Everybody Hates Chris, and you hear his voice, and I'm just like, "Yeah, he too rough." Like his voice can be a little annoying sometimes too. But anyway, let me get off of that. Let me not criticize. But yeah, I love the cast. I thought, I agree with you on the visuals of the movie, the set of the movie. I think Anne Hathaway was perfect as the Grand Witch of the whole crew. But yeah, you ain't never gonna get me to watch it again.
So how many popcorns would you give it? Oh my God. So that means it's really bad.
Okay. So
is it worse than Mulan?
So I actually forgot what I gave Mulan. Did I give Mulan like a 2.5? I think I gave it 2.5. So you know what? Because it was not worse than Mulan, because I actually watched the whole movie and I felt nostalgic as I was watching The Witches, because like I said, I used to watch the movie all the time when I was younger and it scared the bejesus out of me. So I'm going to give it what I gave last week for Emily in Paris. And I'm going to give it
without the disclaimer.
Yeah, without the disclaimer. And that one I said should definitely have a sequel. So, but I'm going to give it a 2.75. And yeah, because I did enjoy it. I had, I felt nostalgic as I was watching it. But I don't want it to have a sequel. It doesn't deserve a sequel. Let's end it there and move on to something else. Hocus Pocus, maybe? Hocus Pocus, anybody? But other than that, yeah, it's just gonna get a 2.75, and that is it. It was cute. If you have kids, watch The Witches with your kids. It's a cute movie for your kids. But if you just grown adults just living, don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Walk away. Go watch a grown person's movie. Okay, go watch a grown person's movie on HBO Max. All right, Eddie, what you rate it as?
Yeah, I was gonna say another plug. Check out the website, and we'll have a list of great Halloween movies for adults to check out. The Popcorn Wine Dowm.
Plug.
You like how I worked that in there?
Definitely.
We're not too far apart on this one. I gave it, I think I might have been generous, maybe. I gave it a 3.
What?
Yeah, and again, that goes back to all the things that I love. Guillermo del Toro, Kenya Barris, the aesthetics, the special effects. Anne Hathaway was magnificent as the Grand Witch. Octavia Spencer, Stanley Tucci. Even Chris Rock, once I understood his purpose for being the mouse, I thought it was great. Again, it was cute, not memorable. The soundtrack, throwing some old Motown, and you always feel happy. So, those are the things that earned it a 3.
Is it hilarious that we both rated it the same way that we did for Emily in Paris?
I gave it. Oh wow!
Yes.
So that means I underrated.
Yeah, and I'm
Emily
starting
in
to think
Paris.
that as well. Like, I
to-
feel like, can I make the disclaimer and say I'm gonna have to bump Emily in Paris up to at least a 3.0 if I'm rating The Witches at a 2.75. Emily, you've been bumped up.
Yeah, Emily has definitely been bumped up. We might have to do an afterthought on that. But yes, because I give it a 3 for those reasons. But it's not anything I care to watch again, not anything I want to watch again. Even if I have children, I would probably put it on and walk out of the room. So that does it for this week's episode of the Popcorn Wine Dowm. Join us next week where we will be reviewing the K-drama Vagabond.
So exciting.
And until then, I am excited. It's really good so far. So until next week, I'm
Tammy.